So, my name is Eddie. Most of my friends call me Yogi. And I remember growing up in Miami. It's just church and God wasn't just something you really heard about or talked about, and it was just kind of unsaid. It's not a thought in your mind. And I remember going into middle school after my parents divorced. My parents got divorced when I was like 10. And going into middle school, just idolizing the street life and idolizing the guys that are in the gangs and that have respect, that have this and have that. And I just grew up wanting that, and just kind of putting that in a pedestal, and just thinking that was the way to be. That was kind of success in itself. And just went through some rough times throughout middle school, through high school, put my mom through some stuff. And remember my junior year of high school was a big turning point in my life. I remember getting kicked out of school, and one of the guys that I really just looked up to, just having a conversation with me and just letting me know that, hey, this isn't what you want. This isn't the life that you want to do. It looks cool now, but look at me. I can't get a job because of my record. I can't do this. And luckily I was blessed enough to the point that I never got arrested for any of the stuff that I did. And it really just opened up my eyes. And at the time, it really took a positive, at the time it was a positive change for my life, because I wasn't doing any of the stuff that I used to, and I started hanging out with different people around that time, and they ended up letting me go back into day school and finish high school in day school on a contract, and started hanging out with the preppy kids now in school. And so they were going to college, so it kind of inspired me, like, okay, I need to buckle down, I need to do good in school because I need to get into college because I want a future. But then that just opened up a whole nother aspect to my life, and it just brought in partying and drinking and basically just living life my way completely, whatever it is that I wanted to do, and just filling it with all these different things that it was just never satisfying. Like just going partying 4 or 5 times a week, and it was just never enough. Like you just always want more. And I remember just kind of going through that, and when I was 21, dating this girl at the time, and I did something kind of dumb, and we broke up. And to try to get her back, to try to get on her good side, she had started going to this church, and I was just like, hey, you know what? I'll join you. I'll go with you one day. And that first service, it was like I never felt like I was struggling with anything. Didn't feel like I hit rock bottom. Didn't feel like I needed anything. But that first message, it just connected with me in a way that there was something there. It's like a light bulb just kind of struck. And I'll admit, for like the first month or so, I just tried to kind of go in the services that I knew that she would be at, just so she could see me. But we never ended up getting back together. But I knew that there was something there, so I kept digging a little more. And I got a lot of heat from some of my friends because I knew that God started convicting me in different areas, but I didn't know what to do. Like I would open up my Bible and read, and I just had no idea what to talk about, what it said, what things that I was reading meant. And none of my friends were living a Christian lifestyle, and getting heat from that, and just making fun of me because, now you don't want to have sex till marriage. Oh, well, you're less of a man now. And just kind of being hurt by that, because these are people you grow up with and think that they're your friends. But now, just because this has happened in your life, now it's like you're being persecuted for that. And I remember back in 2009, it was a very transitional year for me, because I knew I wanted to do the right thing, but I still had all my friends that were doing all the stuff that I was used to. And it really just took God putting all these great people in my life that were just there to be able to pour into me and push me, and just really push me towards Jesus. And that really helped me out, because then my friends started seeing, okay, it's not just a phase that he's going through. This is real. This is something that he's actually pursuing, that he's actively seeking. And it was crazy, because through that I was really able to see who my real friends were and who the people that were just kind of around. And I'm so thankful for that. Like, I had been doing music since I was like 13, just doing rap. And I remember before coming to Christ, I said I would never do Christian rap. But as soon as I started going to church, and I started feeling convicted of doing the same music that I used to do before, and the only thing I ever wanted was to rap on one of our worship sets. And it was like I never got the opportunity because I still wasn't living right. And late 2009, I really just started digging in. I started joining small groups. I started hanging out with more of my Christian friends, and I really just started immersing myself in it. And I'll never forget, in January, I was working at a Red Lobster at the time, so I was working weekends, and I never had a weekend off. And there was this big event called the Chili Cook-Off, which is this huge country event in South Florida. So I had asked for that weekend off like 2 months in advance. And never forget, I was sitting at a Starbucks the Tuesday right before, talking to one of my friends, excited about the concert. And I get a call from the worship pastor at the time, and he's like, hey, do you think you could rap for us this weekend? And I felt like that was really my first test from God, just being like, okay, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to go do what you want? Or are you going to serve me like you said you were? And ever since I made that choice to go serve him instead of the concert and kind of let that go, it's just been such a blessing in my life. And just coming from a place where I opened up my Bible, didn't know anything, to now having the great honor to being able to teach or to learn and really understand and dig into what's going on and what the scripture is saying. It's just changed my life in so many different areas, like struggling with anger, and God just being able to help me through that, and people looking at me talking about, oh, I can't picture you angry, and that's crazy to me because there's a whole group of people that would say otherwise before Jesus. And it's just come to that realization that I'm so much happier now doing none of the things that I thought used to make me happy. And it's a struggle day in and day out. It's hard to stay on the walk, and it's hard to stay focused, but I know that in the end it's worth it. I know that we're not promised of troubles and not, but one thing that it's really helped me do is just know that through those trials and through those obstacles in our life, that he's there for us, and it kind of changes your mindset because now you know, okay, there's a purpose. I'm growing through this, and there's something on the other side. Whereas opposed to before, you kind of go through struggles and trials without any real hope because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't think of it as this is growing me. You just think as, oh, this sucks. And whenever I got to see the bigger picture and just know that God is really in control and that he's really going to do something through this, he's growing me through this, it just really opened up my eyes and really just helped me get through some really rough times in my life. And I don't know what else to say.
That's my story. Sticking to it.